Everybody, welcome back to the channel. We have another episode of MLB The Show franchise. Gonna be the final team in the NL East and in the National League, and then we'll be going on to the American League, the Washington Nationals, a team that is rebuilding, but has a lot of intriguing players, a lot of players coming up to the minor leagues, some veterans mixed in, and honestly, probably 2 or 3 seasons they'll probably be back to compete. They're in a very tough division, obviously, with the Braves and the Phillies. The Mets took a step back. The Marlins have just been decimated by injuries. But I mean, still a very intriguing team for the future. Let's take a look at it before we get this franchise, 3-season franchise underway. We have Mackenzie Gore, they got in the Juan Soto deal. Could be really good. You know, he's not pitched bad when he's been in the major leagues. I know the Nationals are probably expecting better numbers. I hope he can probably become our number 2 or 3 in our rotation in these 3 seasons. But we'll have to see. Very intrigued with what Mackenzie Gore could bring to the table. Josiah Gray, who evaluators have been up and down on. Some think he's going to be a really good pitcher. Some think he's going to be a bullpen guy eventually. So, you know, it's just hit or miss on Josiah Gray. I think he'll still be pretty good as a starting pitcher. Trevor Williams, a veteran guy they signed last season, 2-year deal in the final year of his deal. Basically here to give us innings. Mitchell Parker, deep potential, only 24 years old, left-hander. Not sure if this is somebody who MLB The Show created or an actual pitcher. I haven't watched a lot of Nationals this year. So Nats fans, if you guys know Mitchell Parker, let me know. Maybe he just don't have a pitcher in this game. Jake Irvin, Jackson Rutledge. They don't really have any like top pitching prospects. They do have Cade Cavalli, which I think he had Tommy John if I'm not mistaken. But other than that, they don't. I mean Mackenzie Gore, Josiah Gray, still young. Other than that, I mean they don't really have a lot of guys who you go, yeah, they're gonna definitely be a superstar pitcher. So maybe they go out and maybe make a few trades. That's probably what I'll end up doing with this rotating or sign a few free agents. The Nationals haven't been afraid to spend money. That's one thing they have not been afraid to do. Yes, they didn't want to pay Juan Soto $600 or $700 million, but they have paid a lot of players. Look at the bullpen. Hunter Harvey. I'm going to go ahead and make him our closer because I think they have Kyle Finnegan Kyle Finnegan. So I'm going to go ahead and move him to the relief and put Hunter Harvey as a closer. It boosts his overall to 81. We also have Matt Barnes, veteran, Dylan Floro, Richard Bleer, Kyle Finnegan, Mason Thompson, Jordan Weems. So nobody in this bullpen that's probably going to be a long-term piece. That's definitely going to be something we really have to work on. Catcher, you got Keibert Ruiz, who they're really high on. They gave that a big extension to. Could be really good. Had 18 home runs last year, 67 RBIs. Could get better defensively, but switching catcher, a little bit of pop to make contact, always good to have. They have Riley Adams as the backup catcher. Joey Gallo, they signed to a 1-year deal. Joey Gallo is always an interesting guy. You know, you're going to get a lot of power, but not a lot of average. And that's probably what they're going to get from him as well. Joey Meneses, who's really been a late bloomer. We'll have to see how he plays. And then Juan Yepes, who my Cardinals had for a while, just never really had an opportunity. Who could be a DH candidate for them. Probably won't do nothing for us in this franchise, but like for the Nationals in real life, they definitely could probably use him eventually. Luis Garcia, second base, feels like he's been in the league forever. And he's not really had bad numbers at all either. The Nationals have not been afraid to call up players at a young age. They did it with Bryce Harper, Juan Soto, Luis Garcia, Victor Robles. Third base, Nick Senzel, who's just been hurt a ton. The Reds were very high on this guy, just always injuries. Just always. He could never really get consistent on the field or consistent at bats just due to injury. So hopefully he can put up some solid numbers. Eldemaro Vargas, utility guy. And then you have Brady House, who I don't know if he'll make an impact for us in this franchise, but this kid's going to be a stud for the Nationals sooner rather than later. CJ Abrams, who's an absolute stud, another guy they got in the Juan Soto deal. Shortstop, we're pretty much covered there. Eddie Rosario in left field, veteran guy. Him and Jesse Winker are two veterans. They're kind of just given an opportunity to see if they can maybe bounce back and trade him at the trade deadline. We might take the same approach. This first season might be more of an evaluation year to see, you know, who's going to be long-term pieces, how everybody's performing, maybe trade a few guys and go from there. Speaking of trading, I did forget to mention Patrick Corbin, a guy we're probably going to look to move. He's only on 1 year of his deal. Another guy they gave a ton of money to. In 2019, he was crucial to winning that World Series. And after that, his numbers just, I don't know what happened to Patrick Corbin. I don't know if teams figured him out or if it was just pitching coach or it's weird. I don't know what to say about Patrick Corbin. But anyways, back to the outfield. Dylan Cruz, young center fielder, Jacob Young, and Victor Robles. Listen, Victor Robles has been in the league forever since 2017. Another guy that had, debuted 19, 18 years old, and he had a lot of promise, just hasn't really, I don't know, just injuries and just hasn't really developed into what they hoped he would be. Maybe he still has time. He's only 26. And they got Elijah Green, Robert Hassell, and then Jeremy De La Rosa. They have a lot of young outfielders. Definitely could take advantage and trade from that. Then they got Lane Thomas in right field, who had a hell of a year last year. Really just turned to an everyday stud for them. 2 years away from free agency. Stone Garrett, another guy they got from the D-backs, took advantage of the at-bats and, put up some good numbers. And then James Wood, another guy they're high on. I think he's pretty sure he's in the Juan Soto trade as well. So just a lot of interesting young players, a lot of veterans mixed in. And, like I said, this first year is going to be more of an evaluation process. So I'm going to go ahead and get this first season underway, and I'll see you guys at the trade deadline. Early in the season, we got offered this trade, and I'm really tempted to, accept this deal. Stone Garrett, who's having a really good season so far, 321 average, 3 home runs, 17 ribbies for Chris Paddock, which Chris Paddock's under contract, $4.2 million for 2 years. That's a very reasonable deal. He's having a good season so far, 1-2 with the ERA under 4. Could add him to our rotation, which is very low in overall. Not a lot of guys who are like future pieces right now. I'm going to go ahead and accept this deal. Trade from the Dodgers. Matt Barnes, he's having a pretty good season, 3.38 ERA. He's 33. For J.P. Ferguson, who's having a better season and 2 years younger. Going to go ahead and accept this trade also. So we are here at our first trade deadline. We're not doing none this season, y'all. It's obvious. 46 and 62. Figured this year was going to go this way. Just not been our year. So let's say everybody's been performing. Luis Garcia, not bad numbers. I mean, he's having, you could say, a career year. Numbers up across the board. He's playing every day in a leadoff spot. You got Vargas, not bad at all for utility guy. Nunez, who's hitting third, in our lineup. I don't know why C.J. Abrams is on the bench. That must be like a glitch or something. I do not understand that. That is wild. C.J. Abrams having a phenomenal year. Already has 19 home runs at the trade deadline. Probably going to finish at least 25 to 30. Love to see that. Joey Gallo having a solid year as well. Average is up, on base, slugging's good. I have to consider re-signing Joey Gallo. What a year he's having so far. Lane Thomas, not a good year at all. Numbers down across the board. Powers completely fell off a cliff so far. Wow, that's not what you want to see. Nick Senzel has more home runs than him. That's not hating on Nick Senzel because he hits lefties pretty good. But wow, I did not expect to say that. Nick Senzel's not having a good year either. Keyword Ruiz is not hitting for much power. Just our power, really, besides Abrams and Gallo is just gone. Eddie Rosario, not much power. He's been hurt a lot too, though. Joey Meneses, 13 home runs. That's good to see. Going to have a career year for him as well. And then Alex Call, who got the call up when we had some injuries. Not bad numbers. Jared Young, an extra outfielder, hitting good for average, 286. Riley Adams is playing really good in that backup catcher spot. We saw Vargas and Nunez is not having a horrible year, but nothing spectacular. Looks like we got too many position players. Looks like Victor Robles is back from injury. So somebody will have to be sent down. Unfortunately, it might have to be Jacob Young, even though he's hitting 280. So we got Victor Robles back. He's having a great year. 3 home runs, 16 RBIs, 320 average, getting on base. It's good to see from Victor. I have to put him back in left field because he is playing phenomenal. So our lineup don't look horrible, but it's not nothing spectacular. Pitching-wise, Chris Paddock, not great, but not horrible so far this season. Mackenzie Gore definitely could have a better ERA. Josiah Gray, ERA over 5. Trevor Williams pitching the best in our rotation, 9-7 ERA of 3.75. And then Jake Irvin's putting up, good numbers for a number 5 starter. So that's a pleasant surprise. I almost said Patrick Williams. Patrick Corbin, the ERA over 5. Kind of expect that at this point. Mitchell Parker, really good season, 8-12, 3.29 ERA. Looks like he had some spot starts in there. JP, who we got in the trade, good numbers, ERA under 4. Richard Blyer, I'll take that, not horrible. Mason Thompson's been really good, 9 innings, ERA of 2. Kyle Finnegan, ERA of 2. Dylan Floro's been lights out, .50 ERA. Wow. Hunter Harvey has been decent in the closing role, 17 out of 20 in saves. It's kind of crazy he's only had 20 save opportunities really so far. That's kind of wild, but ERA is not bad. So this team needs a lot of work. I mean, it's not going to be an easy turnaround. There's definitely guys with potential, I mean, the only guys in this lineup that are really like long-term pieces is probably Keibert Ruiz, CJ, and Lane Thomas. I mean, everybody else can definitely be replaced at some point. So it's not what you want to see. And then pitching-wise, I think these three, Paddock, Gore, and Josiah Gray, are three guys who are going to solidify our rotation. I think we're an ace away from having a really good rotation. Because if you have Trevor Williams or Jake Irvin as your fifth, that's really not that bad. And then bullpen, we'll just have to revamp. Really, besides Hunter Harvey, this whole bullpen is probably going to have to be revamped. And JP will probably be here as well. But other than that, it's just not looking good. Let's take a look at the trade block. So we need more offense. Do we go out and get a Matt McLean? I've had him before in franchise. He didn't do too hot for me until the second season. He's 24, under contract till 2030. We could definitely use somebody like him, add more, not much power, but just a solid everyday guy. Do we go after a Patrick Wisdom, who's not really having a great year? Do we go out and get some more rotation help? Bailey Ober is definitely a possibility. He's having a really good season. Do we just go ahead and get 4 starters for the future, get an ace in the offseason, and be set? It's definitely intriguing. So I'm going to see who we could trade for Bailey Ober. They want a big package for Bailey Ober. Big trade package, I should say. Let's see. So we signed this guy in free agency, Amari DaCosta, who's having a really good year in AAA. So I'm going to offer him. Trying to see who would intrigue them. Maybe Trey Lipscomb. He's 23, and no, that don't get the job done. That don't either. I would consider that because there ain't really a long-term spot for him on this team. I'll go ahead and offer this. I really like that trade. I think that trade makes us better long-term, and it helps us solidify our rotation. So that's going to be the one move I make. I mean, I could trade Patrick Corbin. Actually, I'll do that real quick. So I'm going to see what I can get for Patrick Corbin, see if we can get off his contract just to trade him. Maybe a change of scenery would do him wonders because the last few years in Washington have not been too well for old Patrick. And unfortunately, this game takes a while to find trades, so I'm going to go ahead and fast forward that for you guys. Oh, never mind, I already loaded. Okay. So Dylan Tate could be a good pick of the Orioles. Donovan Solano. Graham Pauley. I'm going to go ahead and accept Dylan Tate for Patrick Corbin. It helps us out with our bullpen. So that's going to be the one or few moves I make. I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So first season is in the books. We ended up winning an award or had the league leaders. Bailey Ober led the league in WHIP. Other than that, though, just a dreadful first season. 67-95, just not where we want to be. Expect us to be bad, but not this bad last place. So we got some work doing the offseason to catch the Phillies. It wasn't a very stacked division. On paper it is, but Braves only won 86 games and they got into a wild card, so pretty shocking there. Let's say everybody did the end of the season. Luis Garcia, 18 home runs for Luis Garcia. That is something I did not expect to see. A career year for him. 75 overall now, going to continue to grow. Good to see. Nick Senzel, not a great year. Probably have to look for a third baseman. Maybe just have him come off the bench, the utility guy. I think that'd make a little bit more sense. CJ Abrams with 27 home runs, 82 RBIs, a 299 average for CJ. That is great to see. Joey Gallo with 29 home runs as well. Both guys from the left side of the plate hitting 25-plus homers. Joey Meneses with 18 homers, 73 RBIs. So a lot of power between these three in the lineup. Keibert Ruiz ended up finishing with 14 home runs, so definitely improved the power a little bit in the second half. Lane Thomas, just a dreadful season. We got to have him get right next season if we're going to do anything. Eddie Rosario, not a bad year for 84 games played. Vargas, off the bench. I'll take that in the utility role as well. Then on the bench, Jacob Young, solid. I mean, he's not a power guy. He's just a guy who gets on base and plays good defense. Riley Adams played really good off the bench. Nunez, not bad at all either. And then Victor Robles gave us pretty solid numbers. So the bench wasn't bad either. Let's take a look at that pitching. Chris Paddock, not a bad year for a number one this season, which he's not really a number one, but I'll take those numbers. Mackenzie Gore, about the same ERA, just a little bit ahead of it, but 8-17, not good records, but we had a horrible year. Josiah Gray's got to bounce back next year. Trevor Williams, great year, 12-11. And then Jake Irvin, 6 and 15, but had a ERA of 4.40, so can't be mad at that. So our rotation doesn't look great, but it doesn't look bad either. All ERAs under 5. Mitchell Parker, solid. Bailey Ober, which I don't get why Bailey Ober is not in the rotation. Maybe I think there was an injury to Bailey Ober at the end of the season. I think that's why. 18 and 10 with a 3.17 ERA. What a year Bailey had. And then JP, good numbers. Mason Thompson had a good year. Only limited innings, but still a good year. Kyle Finnegan moved into the bullpen, not at the closer. Gave us a good season. Dylan Flora was just unhittable all season. Dylan Tate, short stint. Hopefully he could be a better contributor next year because it was not a good season. And Hunter Harvey struggled in the closing role a little bit. Maybe we have to look for a closer, maybe give another shot. Overall, not the best numbers for our team. Let's see who wins this World Series before we get these off-season underway. The Orioles defeat the Braves. That's good to see. I think the Orioles are going to be the next team I do in franchise. So if any Oriole fans out there or just fans of that team want to watch, make sure to tune in. So I'm going to go ahead and get the free agency. Hopefully improve this team. Got a lot of work to do. Like I said, the Nats spent a lot of money. So I'm going to be pretty active in free agency. I'll show you guys the start next season what we done. About to get underway. We did make some moves. Shane Bieber's going to be our ace. Nationals have a history of paying starting pitchers. Why not get Shane Bieber? We had a ton of cap space available. So we got him, Mackenzie Gore, Chris Paddock, Bailey Ober, and Josiah Gray. I think that's a really good starting 5. Not even going to lie to y'all. I think that could carry us to at least a wild card. Upgrade the bullpen. Jeff Hoffman, 1 year, about close to $10 million. Had a solid year last year. We needed bullpen. We also got Yimi Garcia for a 1 year, $7 million deal. Basically signed the 2 top relievers on the market. Brought in Andrew Chafin to have a lefty out of the bullpen as well. And then JP, Floro, Dylan Tate, pretty much the same crew. Hunter Harvey will still be our closer. Give him another shot. Catchers, pretty much the same. We brought back Joey Gallo, so him and Joey Meneses a platoon. We did sign, Gleyber Torres. Comes off a 21 home run year. We need him a little bit more pop in this lineup. Came at a reasonable price, $8.9 million per year for 2 years. Didn't really think that was too bad of a deal. We moved Luis Garcia to third base. C.J. Abrams a shortstop. We did sign Alex Verdugo as well. Had 18 home runs last year with the Yankees. 65 RBIs, only 28. Thought he'd be a good addition to this team. Good outfielder. Good contact hitter in left field. We're going to give Dylan Cruz a shot in center field. Thought, why not? Got to give some of these young kids a shot on this team. Lane Thomas still right. We signed Brent Rooker. Really was cheap. For a guy who put up 34 home runs, I think he was asking for like $1.1 million. It was too tough to pass. So we didn't really have a consistent DH last season. He could play first, left, center, right. 1 year deal, don't hurt, while some of these other guys develop or maybe become trade chips. So really looking forward to seeing how this team goes. So I'll see you guys at the second trade deadline. Trade, we're sitting somewhere around 500. Saw Jojo Romero from the Cardinals are on the trade block, only 28, 78 overall. We're going to trade them JP and Jackson Rutledge, who could still turn out to be something, but just not a lot of room on our roster for him. So going to make this trade. And then looking better than last season, 53 and 56, still 11 games out of first place. Let's see how we're looking in the wild card. We're 3 games out of a wild card, so we definitely got time to get back in this. A lot of teams we have to leapfrog, though. The Braves, the D-backs, the Giants, the Cardinals, the Padres, and the Brew Crew. So it's going to take a lot of work. Let's see how everybody's been performing. C.J. Abrams, wow, he's been hurt, but man, that is not good to see. Definitely a down year for him. Alex Verdugo, good numbers, 10 home runs, 38 RBIs, getting on base a good amount, 286 average. Luis Garcia has really been a key contributor for us these first 2 seasons. 18 home runs last year, 16 already at the All-Star break this year. So the power is really starting to develop for him. Brent Rooker, worth every dime, especially $1.3 million, has 24 home runs, 61 runs batted in. Keibert Ruiz, not bad so far this season. Joey Gallo, 18 home runs, probably going to have another 25 home run campaign. Dylan Cruz for his first full season, good numbers. Gleyber Torres, not a bad year at all. He's going to hit 20 home runs again, hitting good for average. Numbers up across the board so far. Lane Thomas just has not been good. Maybe that's somebody we look to move for a better piece in the offseason. Well, he is a free agent after this season, actually, so it's just not been good for him. Joey Meneses, been okay, not bad. Nick Senzel in that utility role has given us a little bit of pop, but average down. Slugging's up a little bit. Riley Adams has been okay, and Vargas has been not great. So the lineup really across the board is just lacking power still. Like we don't really have anybody besides Rooker who's past 20 home runs. I mean, we don't really have a lot of power at all in this lineup. Just a lot of guys hitting for average, but not really driving in runs. A lot of low RBI totals as well. Really, Brent Rooker's been the only key RBI guy. I mean, nobody else has really been driving in runs. That is not good to see. Let's take a look at the rotation. Shane Bieber's been awesome. 9-6, 2.29 ERA. Mackenzie Gore, not bad. Definitely improvement from last season. 4-9, 3.85 ERA. Chris Paddock not having a great year at all. ERA over 5. Bailey Overs, Mr. Consistency, 3.12 ERA. And Josiah Gray having a down year as well. So really, rotation outside of Bieber, Gore, and Gray have been underperforming, especially Gray and Paddock. Dylan Tate's been awesome out of the bullpen, ERA under 3. Jake Irvin just keeps putting up reliable numbers. Andrew Chafin's been awesome, 1.45 ERA. Wow. Jojo Romero was an awesome pickup, 2.48 ERA. Dylan Floro has been awful after a hell of a season last year, 7.94 earned run average. Yimi Garcia, not really what we expected out of him. Hunter Harvey's having a down year as well. And then Jeff Hoffman in the closer role has been solid, ERA of 3. So really the bullpen looks like it's been letting us down. So if we look at the trade block, Jake Fraley, 82 overall, is the highest overall. Having a pretty solid year. Max Kepler's been not great for the Twins. Walker Buehler soon to be free agent. Well, actually, never mind. He signed with the Twins for a 3-year deal. Not really seeing anybody that is really just like, wow, we got to get them. I don't know. This team, we could use another hitter. If we look, right field, Lane Thomas. Do we look to move Lane Thomas? Like, who's a right fielder that we could go out and get for a reasonable deal? Nolan Jones, I got him before in franchise. I think it was in the early franchise, if you guys saw that one. He just didn't do well, but could be a guy we look to go after. Corbin Carroll's probably going to be a tough get, but the D-backs do have a lot of outfielders. Do we go after Lourdes Gurriel Jr. having a down year? Jake McCarthy, Alec Thomas. I mean, I would love to have Corbin Carroll. They're probably not going to give him up. Yeah, no shot unless we give up maybe like James Wood. I mean, I don't even know if that would get it done. I mean, we're giving up. I mean, they're not trading Corbin Carroll. They'd be dumb too. Tyler O'Neill back on the Cardinals. Ain't that funny? Do we go after a Jordan Walker? Do we go after a Lars Nootbaar? I think I'm going to offer, obviously not all this for Noot, but I think we're going to go after Nootbaar. So let's see. Alex Verdugo's been good though. I don't know. They're having similar numbers. New has a little bit. New's having a hell of a season though. 340 average. Do we give him Lane Thomas, Morales, and it's going to take a really good player to get this deal done. So because New's having an incredible season. Even Josiah Gray doesn't get it done. Kay Cavalli. They want Gleyber Torres. I don't know if I want to give up Gleyber. You just signed him to a deal. That's tough. Cardinals, come on now. I'm a fan. Help me out here. I mean, do we give up? They don't even want one of our young outfielders, really. James Wood would get the deal done, but do we want to give up all that for New? I mean, James Wood's having an okay season. I don't know if he'll really be contributing in this franchise that much. Lane Thomas, Handy Morales, and James Wood for Lars Nootbaar, who's 27. I'm going to do this trade. I think we need to jolt this offense up. I might be giving up a lot for Noot, but we got to get this offense going somehow. I'm going to put Nootbaar in that lineup. Going to switch him and CJ Abrams. Maybe that gets CJ going. Maybe just like moving him in the order or something. Because he has not been too good so far. So we're going to put, when we get Lars Nootbaar, we'll see if he jolts this offense. If not, this third season, I'm going to have to make a lot of moves. So I'm going to go ahead and simply end the season and show you guys how we did. It's in the books. And we did not finish where we want to finish. After all the moves I made and tried to get this team improved, we finished 80 and 82. Obviously, we finished better than last season. which is a good thing. But really was hoping to make a wild card. We end up finishing 6 out. So we got one more season to make a playoff berth happen for this team, and it's going to be tough. We end up having league leaders, Shane Bieber in shutouts, complete games, and innings pitched. So that's good to see. Let's see how everybody did to end the season. New ended up getting hurt, unfortunately, had a fractured arm. But what a season for New. He's definitely going to be a key part of our offense in the third and final season. So let's look at the lineup. C.J. Abrams, just a down year overall for C.J. Really played the same amount of games, just didn't really get going. Alex Verdugo, solid, power a little down, but gave us 292 average, 356 on base, 438 slugging. And then Luis Garcia, another good season, Mr. Reliable. Brent Rooker gave us 32 home runs, 88 RBIs. Gleyber Torres had a good year. There were 24 home runs, 68 RBIs. As Gleyber Day in Washington. Keibert Ruiz, about a similar year to last year, just a little bit down across the board numbers-wise, but home runs and RBIs are pretty similar. Besides, RBIs are down a little bit. Joey Gallo, down year. Still gave us a little bit of power, but first base definitely going to be something we look at in the offseason. Dylan Cruz had a okay first season. They ain't going to knock your socks off or nothing, but at least he got that major league experience. Nick Senzel with 17 homers. That's a surprise. So lineup overall definitely still needs some work. Riley Adams, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. Can't complain. Nunez didn't really play a lot. Elijah Green got a little bit of major league experience, 6 for 26. And then Jacob Young. We have like 10 outfielders on the bench for some reason. So lineup definitely didn't perform the way we hoped. Shane Bieber was awesome. 14, 11, 2.58 earned run average for Shane. Mackenzie Gore, need to get that ERA a little bit better going the next season. If he can give us an ERA of 3.40 or something, I think we'll be good with that. Chris Paddock just hasn't been good. Do we bring it back in free agency? We'll have to see what's out there. Bailey Ober, another excellent campaign for him. 3.18 ERA, pretty similar to last year. Josiah Gray, for a fifth starter, I'll take that ERA of 4.11. Mitchell Parker out of the bullpen had even a better year than last season, which is impressive. Andrew Chafin was worth every penny. Probably could look to bring him back for a one-year deal. 1.74 ERA. Jojo Romero, another guy. Excellent trade. Dylan Floro, probably won't bring him back. Just wasn't that good. ERA of 6. Yimi Garcia, another guy. I don't know if we'll bring him back. ERA is just not, like, it's around his career norm, but really was hoping he'd be like a big part of this pen and really give us some good numbers. Hunter Harvey had a down year as well. Jake Irvin, really just been a guy we've been really going to rely on out of the bullpen. He's just given us constantly good years so far. And then Jeff Hoffman was excellent in that closer role. Hopefully he's a guy we look to re-sign. So let's see who wins this World Series before we get on with the final offseason. And hopefully the offseason that gets us to the playoffs. Dodgers defeat the Twins. So my main goals in the offseason, re-sign Jeff Hoffman, possibly look for one more starter. Max Scherzer gets in the Hall of Fame. Sign one more starter. Add a little bit more to the bullpen, add a little bit more to the lineup, and we'll see what we're cooking with in this third and final season. So I'll see you guys then. Made some moves. We signed Zach Gallen to replace Chris Paddock. Still had some money available in the cap room. Why not get another ace to pair with our ace, Shane Bieber? So this, rotation's still looking very, very good. We brought Jeff Hoffman back. Brought Andrew Chafin back. Richie Prescott is our I think we had the second pick in the draft. He's the guy we picked. Going to be a part of our, relief core. I think he's going to be a big part of it. Like I said in the beginning, I think the Nats have not been afraid to call up guys when they're 19, 20 years old. He's definitely another case of that. Hunter Harvey. We also signed Reese Hoskins, who's coming off a 27 home run campaign. Him and Joey Gallo will be a good platoon in our lineup. And then Gleyber Torres is second. Luis Garcia, Brady House is getting close, which I don't know if he'll be a factor in this. And then we have the outfield. So we ended up bringing back Brent Rooker. Pretty much same outfield. So I'm just hoping this team gets to a wild card. That's all I'm hoping. The bullpen might need another addition. But other than that, I think this is a really good ball club. The lineup's a lot better. Hopefully everybody can stay healthy and we can make the playoffs. So let's get this third final season underway and see how we do. Line 66 and 43. Awesome to see us in first place. Let's see how everybody's been doing. A lot of cold symbols in this lineup. Hopefully that's not a bad sign. 13 home runs, 49 RBIs for CJ. better than last year, but still was hoping for more of a 2024 type campaign from him. Maybe he still gives us at least 20 home runs. Alex Verdugo has been great, 18 home runs, 48 RBIs, and have a career year most likely in the power department. Lars Nootbaar, 338 average. He's a hitting machine, Newt. Brent Rooker, power's definitely down. Hopefully he picks up a little bit in the second half. Luis Garcia, power still good. 11 home runs. The All-Star break ain't horrible. 311 average. Getting on base, a high clip, 372 on base. It's Gleyber Day. Gleyber Torres about to have a career year as well. Possibly. 2019 was a good year for Gleyber, so I take that back. Maybe not a career year. We'll have to see, though. He could have hit 38 home runs, so I'll have to have a huge second half. Let's see how Kiebert's been doing. For some reason, it's not. Okay, there we go. My bad. It was bugging out a little bit. 10 home runs, 42 RBIs for Kiebert. About where his numbers usually are. Rhys Hoskins, 14 home runs, 65 RBIs. I'll take that. Power's a little down, but he's still going to give us 20 home runs. And then Dylan Cruz, 15 home runs, 47 RBIs. So a lot of guys hitting. There's a lot of cool symbols right now, but I like the numbers I'm seeing. Joey Gallo's just not been great so far. Riley Adams is struggling. Nunez, eh. And then Elijah Green's been good off the bench. So Elijah Green's really been the only bright spot on this bench. And then let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber's been great, 11-5, 2.61 earned run average for Shane. Zach Gallen's fit right in, 14-2, 2.37 earned run average. Can't get much better than that out of your number 2. Jake Irvin, who's filling in for Mackenzie Gore, who got hurt. I think he's out for a little while. 11-8, 3.69 earned run average for Jake Irvin. He's just been Mr. Consistent in this franchise. Bailey Ober, another guy who's been Mr. Consistent. He's having even a better season this year than he did the last 2 years. 8-8, 2.65 earned run average. And then Josiah Gray not having a great year, but for a number 5 starter, I guess I'll take that. Mitchell Parker having a down year. Cade Cavalli really getting his first taste of Major League action since 2022 is just not getting the job done. Andrew Chafin having a down year compared to last year. Our number 1 pick, or first round pick, I should say, number 2 overall pick, maybe needs to get sent down, not really playing well so far. Hunter Harvey, 3.99 ERA. I'll take that. It's a good bounce back. Dylan Tate's been good in 5 innings. Jeff Hoffman's 26 holds and 24 innings pitched, 2.25 earned run average. And then how about JoJo Romero? 34 out of 38 in save opportunities, and a 1.70 ERA in that closer spot. So I look at this team. Let's see how some guys are doing in the minor leagues. We don't really have anybody setting the world on fire. Mason Thompson's been good in AAA. Let's see what's on the trade block before we simmer the playoffs. James Outman, Isaac Paredes, Matt Chapman, Michael Bush. There's some good options definitely available if we want to upgrade our lineup. Not so much in the pitching department. I mean, lineup-wise, do we really need a major upgrade? I mean, we could upgrade Brent Rooker and get a better production. I mean, Brent Rooker could bounce back, but do we go out and get an Isaac Paredes who's hit 20 home runs? He had 40 home runs last year. I might have to consider that. So we're going to throw in Brent Rooker and Robert Hassell for Isaac Paredes. So he will probably be our DH. So I'm going to make that deal. So let's see where he fits into our lineup. Isaac Paredes. So if we move okay, we can put him at DH there. That fits in perfectly. Okay, so we can move Verdugo back to the outfield and put him as our DH. So I like that move. We had a switch or a right hit. I almost thought he was a switch hitter at first. Right-handed bat, having a good year, a little bit better production than Brent Rooker was given. I think that's going to be my only move. This team's playing well. I don't really see much moves we can make. Maybe we upgrade the bullpen. There ain't a lot of prospects we want to trade right now. I said not want to trade right now. Not really worth trading for relievers. I mean, we did get. I think our bullpen will be fine as long as our starting rotation holds up. I think our bullpen don't really need a lot of moves. Plus, we got Irvin, who's pitched good, and once we get Mackenzie Gore back, it'll move into the bullpen. So I'm going to keep this team how it is. Hopefully, I'll see y'all when we make the playoffs. We had some league leaders. Zach Gallen led in winning percentage. JoJo Romero with 49 saves. Gallen led the league in innings pitched, and Beaver led the league in whips. So our pitching really came through. Won some awards. Zach Gallen won the Cy Young in his first season in D.C. Just excellent to see that. 100 wins for the Washington Nationals. We did a turnaround the third season as I hoped. This division was really weak. Braves 84 wins. Phillies really had a bad year. Mets lost 89 games. The Marlins just still haven't gotten going. The wild card D-backs won 101 games. Braves end up getting in as a wild card, so really just an interesting wild card. Let's take a look at the lineup. C.J. Abrams, a little bit of a bounce back here, still down numbers, but maybe just 2024 was just a fluke year for CJ. Who knows? But Alex Verdugo, 32 home runs for Alex Verdugo. Wow, that kind of shocked me reading that. 32 home runs, 74 RBIs for Verdugo. Excellent to see. New another good year. 329 average, like 500. Isaac Paredes with 37 home runs for us. What a get he was at the trade deadline. Luis Garcia, another good year. Gleyber Torres with 34 home runs. So he didn't break his 38, but he did drive in a career high in RBIs. So it's Gleyber Day. 15 home runs, 62 RBIs for Keeper, about his career numbers at this point. Rhys Hoskins with a 21 home run campaign, 17 home runs for Dylan Cruz. So lineup was really raking. Joey Gallo, down year. Riley Adams, about where his numbers have been for backup catcher. Nunez didn't give us much. And Elijah Green, an okay campaign. Let's take a look at the pitching. Shane Bieber, ERA went up a little bit in the second half, but still a very good campaign. Zach Gallen, you see why he won the Cy Young. 20-4 record, 201 strikeouts in 224 innings, 2.92 ERA. Mackenzie Gore had a little bit of an injury, but a good year overall. Bailey Ober was awesome. And Josiah Gray gave us pretty good numbers. Mitchell Parker, down year. Andrew Chafin really had a bad second half. Wow. Hunter Harvey, bounce back campaign. Kay Cavalli was awful. Dylan Tate, limited innings, but he didn't give up a run in 14 innings. Jeff Hoffman, 39 holes in 34 innings. Just excellent across the board for Jeff Hoffman. Our rookie's back up. Hopefully he can have a good playoffs. And then Joe Romero with 49 saves. Gonna have a 50 save campaign if he wouldn't have blew a few saves. So we're facing my Cardinals in the first round. Watch see how it goes here in DC. Shane Bieber on the mound. Let's see. They got Doyle, Tovar, O'Neill's back, Schwarber, Wilmer Flores. Is definitely a different Cardinal team. So let's see if we can get some runs on the board. Do not in the first inning. Shane Bieber flying through right now. Kyle Harrison getting a little bit of a trouble, but gets out of it. Cardinals got bases loaded, get a sac fly, and they take a 1-0 lead. Our offense cannot hit right now. But the Cardinals haven't really hit too much in this game either. Shane Bieber flying through this lineup. As soon as I say that, Tyler O'Neill hits a 2-run bomb. So 7 strong innings. But let's see if we can get back on the board. Bases loaded. And we don't score. That is tough. Let's see if Hunter Harvey can give us a good inning here. He does. Bottom of the 8th. Kyle Harrison still pitching. Let's bring in Dylan Tate. Gets out of it. So bottom of the 9th, we're down. Paredes, Hoskins, and Ruiz. Ryan Helsley on the mound. Single, fly out, strikeout, ground out. So we lose game 1, 3-0. The offense, do or die game. Zach Gallen, the Cy Young winner on the mound against his former team. Let's see if he can get this to a game 3. 2-run bomb by Verdugo off of Sonny Gray. Let's see if Gallen can settle one after that. There's a run by Kyle Schwarber off the double. We end up getting another 3 runs thanks to C.J. Abrams. And it is 5-1 D-backs. There's a solo shot by Tyler O'Neill, the second of the series already. So 5-2. There's a solo shot by Wilmer Flores. So 3-5. Sonny Gray still in. Bases loaded. They bring in Steven Matz and he gets out. So maybe one more inning at a Gallen. So 6 strong innings, a 3-run ball. So we're going to bring in the bullpen. We're going to bring in Andrew Chafin. Strikeout. So can we get some extra run support? So we're going to take out Chafin. We're going to bring in Jeff Hoffman here. Steven Matz still in the game. There's a solo shot by Gleyber Torres. So it's time to bring in Jojo Romero to face his former team. Can he get the 2-run Bomb by Kyle Schwarber. We're still win by 1, though. Very, very nervous win right there. So we're in the do-or-die game. City Connect jerseys. Mackenzie Gore or Bailey Ober. I'm going to go Bailey Ober. He's pitched better this season. So Bailey Ober on the mound. Gives up an early run thanks to Nolan Gorman. Leadoff double by Abrams. We cannot tie up the game, though. Another double by O'Neill. He's really tore us up. Wilmer Flores makes it 2-0. Can our offense pick up Bailey Ober here? There's a walk, double play. Come on, offense. We need y'all to get going. There's a 1 run. Bailey Ober settling in now. There's a single by Cruz. Doesn't lead to nothing. Solo shot by Contreras. It's time to take him out. We're going to bring in Dylan Tate. There's a walk, fly out, single, fielder's choice. Maybe one more inning out of Tate. Ryan Weathers in the pitch. Man, our offense is letting us down right here. We're going to bring in the rookie. 2-run bomb by Nolan Gorman off the rookie. TJ Antone in the pitch, the bottom of the 8th. 2 on, 2 out. Zach Thompson strikes out the hitter. So we're going to bring in Mitchell Parker here. 1, 2, 3. So bottom of the 9th. Dylan Cruz in the face. Zach Thompson. We're going to pinch hit here. Joey Gallo. Fly out, pop up, fly out. So we are eliminated in the first round by the Cardinals. Offense just couldn't get going this series. The Cardinals really pitched well. Let's see who wins the World Series before I wrap up this franchise. The Dodgers defeat the Twins. So just not really the franchise I wanted for the Nationals. I really was hoping to get this team into a deep playoff run. So Nats fans, I apologize. Really like this team, though. I feel like I made a lot of good moves that really worked out. It's just we couldn't really hit in the postseason. If we hit in that series, I think we win it. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the National League side of this franchise series. We'll be getting started with the American League in the next episode. Make sure to tune in for those. Make sure to like and subscribe. And check out our other socials below, our other channels, our NEW Wrestling Podcast. If you're a wrestling fan, check it out. We also got QJ's podcast, QJ Wrestling, and we got our NEW Gaming Show. We have a lot of channels, so make sure to check those out. Appreciate you guys tuning in. Peace.